private school in New York is coming under fire for an experimental new program that aims to combat racism by segregating students. Starting in 3rd grade, students at the Ethical Culture Fieldstone School are given questionnaires to fill out identifying their race. Then they spend time once a week in so-called affinity groups with kids who look like them and talk about things related to race. Is this really a good idea? Joining us now for a fair and balanced debate is educational psychologist Dr. Chuck Williams and Vanderbilt University professor Carol Swain. Nice to see both of you this morning.
Thanks for having me.
Charles, I want to start with you. Is this a good idea?
It's an excellent idea. And by the way, the research is very clear for folks who are saying, you know what, it's too young. What the research says is that by age 4, kids have opinions about race, and because we avoid it, by the time they're 10, they don't want to talk about it anymore, and it makes them very uncomfortable. So the earlier you start, the better.
Carol, you agree with that? The earlier you start, the better to point out our differences? Break these kids up into classes, drive them separately, and have them to talk about race?
It's a terrible idea, and the approach that they're using is more likely to create racism than to prevent it, because studies show that people who interact in integrated settings, students who grow up with people of different races, are more likely to get along better in life. So it's integration that helps racial conversations, not segregation.
You disagree, Charles?
Yeah, but they're not segregated completely like we were before 1954 at Brown versus the Board of Education. They're segregated for the purposes of this activity of having kids in these affinity groups where they feel more comfortable speaking with like peers about a very sensitive topic like race. Look, one of the reasons why we don't talk about race is because we're afraid or we don't know how to talk to someone differently. So by putting people together who are the same, getting over that feeling of being uncomfortable, getting people around you who share views, and then after that, sharing how you feel about race with those who may be different.
But
the research says that this way of doing it can work.
I disagree with you.
But okay.
It won't work. It's more likely to teach the minority students how to feel like victims, and for the white students, it's all about drilling in them a sense of they have white privilege and to instill white guilt. And so I don't think that
But the whole point is to challenge that thinking, though. It's to challenge that thinking by putting them in these groups and having this process.
Carol, go ahead and finish your thought.
You don't allow them to...
It all depends on who's leading the groups, and I'm very suspicious of people that push multiculturalism in the way that it's being pushed at universities. They're teaching kids political correctness. It's not going to improve race relations. It's more likely to worsen race relations and teach the children how to be racist, not prevent it.
Let me read a statement from the school, and then we're going to ask our viewers to weigh in on this. Here's what the school says. Our children do not live in a colorblind world. They must forge confident, positive racial identities that will empower them now and throughout their lives. As the dialogue on race plays out on the national stage, ECFS is committed to discussing racial identity with the next generation of ethical leaders. So this idea of separating them and letting them talk about it. Charles and Carol, we appreciate you joining us this morning. An interesting debate.